Welcome back, amazing listeners. This is the Spoken Legends podcast. You're listening to episode 5. I'm your host, Joe, and I'm so happy you're here with us for another fun episode.
Hello everyone, I'm Susan. If this is your first time listening, I'm glad you found this podcast.
First of all, I think the main benefit that people enjoy when they have a pet is the company. This is more valid with animals like dogs and cats. It might not be the same if you have, I don't know, a bird or an iguana or something like that, but for dogs and cats, they offer you companionship.
Yes, companionship means the act of being with someone else, right? They're with you. They live alongside you. Usually, they're friendly with you. They're your companion. So that's one of the main benefits of having pets, especially dogs.
And one other benefit that having a pet gives is that it teaches children responsibility. So, in the US, for example, parents often buy their children some kind of pet to teach their children how to be responsible. They have to take care of this other living creature. They have to feed it and clean its environment, and maybe play with it and give it water, and all these different things.
Exactly, and when you walk the dog, you get exercise. It forces you to be on your feet, walk, maybe even run. But it forces you to be active, and so that's another benefit of having a dog in particular.
So there are also disadvantages of having pets. One of those disadvantages is that it takes time out of your day. This could be a good thing if you really like walking your dog or feeding your pet or cleaning their cage. But for many of us, this might be a disadvantage because we have to take extra time out of our day to dedicate to this animal.
Right, so parents use this to help children learn that they need to be responsible for other things, and take care of other things, and responsibilities. So that's another advantage of pets.
And then one other disadvantage or con is that they can often disrupt your life. The verb disrupt means to interfere or make changes to something in a way that wasn't planned. For example, maybe I'm talking to a student, and then the dog starts barking and disrupts my class.
Another disadvantage could be the space that the animal needs. For example, if you're a dog owner, you know that dogs often need space, especially if you have a big dog. If they don't have space to run around, they can get very anxious or frustrated.
Now, let's talk about dogs in particular, and then we'll talk about cats. Dogs are probably the most common type of pet. I think in most countries, people like dogs in general. So, let's talk about the pros and cons of owning a dog.
Yes, and they can also disrupt your plans for travel. If you have many pets, it's hard to travel because you need to take care of these pets. So, you might need to pay money or hire someone to watch your pets for you while you're gone.
Yes, and another pro is that dogs are fun. You can actually play with them. There are many types of activities and games that you can play with dogs. You can play fetch with them, which is when you throw the ball, and the dog runs after it and brings it back to you.
The best thing about having a dog is that it can be like a friend. Dogs are usually friendly. They like being around humans. As we say in English, dogs are man's best friend.
But some of the disadvantages of owning a dog include the barking. Dogs bark a lot. Some dogs bark more than others. And it can disturb your neighbors and other people around you.
And one other advantage is that there's a huge variety of dogs. And there's a different type of dog for different types of people. Some people like small, easy dogs, and other people prefer big dogs that can guard your house.
And one other disadvantage is that you have to train dogs. If you don't train your dog, it won't behave well. It's always good to train dogs when they're young so that they develop good habits later on.
Another con is that you have to pick up after your dog. When your dog goes to the bathroom, you have to pick it up. It's not fun, but if you're a responsible dog owner, you have to do it.
Another advantage is that cats are low maintenance. They don't require as much cleaning or training because they're different animals than dogs. They're not as dirty and they don't cause as many problems.
Now, let's talk a little bit about cats. The advantages of having cats are a bit different. For example, cats are independent. You don't need to always spend time with them. You don't need to dedicate as much effort or energy into your cat like you do with a dog.
So, what are some of the other types of pets that people have besides cats and dogs? Some people have birds, reptiles like snakes and turtles, fish, rabbits, or hamsters. These animals usually require less effort and are more low maintenance.
But some of the cons of having cats include that they're not as friendly as dogs. Cats don't always want to be pet, so they're not as affectionate. And many people are allergic to cats.
So, what are some of the other types of pets that people have besides cats and dogs? Some people have birds, reptiles like snakes and turtles, fish, rabbits, or hamsters. These animals usually require less effort and are more low maintenance.
And one last thing to mention is the way that people treat animals in different countries. In the US, people often treat their dogs almost like children. They take them everywhere and treat them very well.
Yes, it's quite interesting to see the different ways people treat pets around the world. So that's our discussion on pets for today. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time.